Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 horror comedy Unhuman, a film that is co-written and directed by Marcus Dunstan, and it stars Brianne Tew, Benjamin Wadsworth. We have Uriah Shelton, Drew Sheed, and we have CJ LeBlanc, Lo Graham, Ali Gallo. And the film focuses on a group of high school students who are going on a school day trip. Along the way, the bus crashes and they are seemingly assaulted by what looks like a zombie. And there is like an announcement on the radio that there's been some kind of chemical attack. So therefore, they all scatter and run for their lives, and the film then becomes a scramble for survival. Right, what are my thoughts on Unhuman? Oh, this is quite a difficult one to know where to start with, because this is a film that up to about 60% of the way through the film, maybe a little bit more, the film is very standard. Essentially, it is what you think to be like a zombie film. Okay. Zombie apocalypse type film. With a little bit of light humour thrown in there. It's something you've seen before many, many times. No better, no worse than like a fairly standard film of this type. And then there is a reveal that takes place that I'm not going to spoil. Part of me was thinking of doing like a spoiler review for this, because the reveal is so catastrophic in my opinion. It absolutely nosedives the film, because it is ridiculous, and it for me it totally wrecked the film. Any real enjoyment I was having of it, because I just couldn't take it seriously when this reveal takes place, about 3/4 of the way through the film, shall we say. Before that, it was fairly standard, watchable stuff. Put it this way, there was a one point in the film, and I was usually when I'm watching these films, especially a film I'm going to be reviewing, gets to a point in the film where you start thinking in your head. You're making notes sometimes, not always. I don't make notes, but occasionally I do. And you're thinking in your head, what kind of score would I be giving this film, sort of thing? What kind of feeling am I getting? And it was feeling like a 6 at one point, this film. Not a shockingly bad score at all. I certainly don't think. And then when the reveal takes place, that score was just out the window, because it was just so ridiculous, and it just completely and utterly ruined the film. And those of you who have watched this film or are going to watch this film, you'll know what I mean when the reveal takes place. It's just daft. The production values here for this film are actually pretty decent. It looks pretty good. It looks polished. The effects are decent. And the performances by everybody here are all actually very, very good. Especially, Brianna Tew, who is like the main star here in the film. In regards to comedy, though, horror comedy, I mean, that's a difficult blend to get right anyway. It's not an easy balance to do. And where this film starts reasonably strongly in regards to the horror comedy, there comes a point in this film about, I don't know, a quarter of the way through it, maybe a little bit more. The comedy just takes a back seat. It's gone for me. I mean, I don't remember even particularly laughing anyway, but it was, it was a typical type high school humor sort of thing at the beginning, and then when it all kicks off, apart from a couple of moments, the horror of the comedy's just not there. And there's a real lull. I mean, I think the film starts pretty strongly. Introduction to the characters, and then you get the bus crash, and then it all starts kicking off. and then it gets very, very manic for a little bit, and then there's a real lull in the proceedings, and it kind of gets very, very slow and dull for like the middle part of the film. So the early part of the film is the strongest part of the film. The middle of the film gets a bit saggy and a little bit dull, and it drags a little bit. And then the end of the film, when the reveal takes place, is just, nosedive off a cliff sort of thing. So it's a real unbalanced film, this. And it kind of finishes with a message that, if you're a young person watching this film, you might relate to it. It's essentially about, acceptance and bullying and all this kind of stuff. And it's all tied into the whole film, and when you watch it, you'll understand what I mean when I say that. It just felt a little bit much for me, and this whole film, felt a little bit much for me. It was just, if you're gonna make a horror comedy, do it, make it scary and make it fun. And there are moments in this film where you think this is heading in the right direction, and then there are moments in this film where it's just really cliched, with cliched characters, and just completely generic. And then when they try and, I suppose, give you a twist at the end or give you the reveal and stuff like that, it raises so many questions, and it's just ridiculous, and it's so tempted to spoil it, but I'm not going to. Just watch it for yourself if you want to, but honestly, I don't really recommend it. I felt pretty disappointed with this film, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's a shame. There was some real potential here, I think. The performances are all fine, even though there are quite a lot of cliched characters here. But the idea they eventually went with was just, I just couldn't accept it, and it was just, beyond belief, in my opinion. So that's my review for Unhuman. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, I will be back with more reviews on the channel very, very soon.